Hello everybody, my name is Jason. We're doing a matchup video today between Pikachu and Sonic. So Pikachu is being played by Anther and Aion is playing Sonic in this match. And the interesting thing about this particular Pikachu-Sonic matchup, besides the fact that I think that Pikachu and Sonic are both very uncommon characters seen at like high level play, this is literally like the best Pikachu versus the best Sonic right now. So this is the resource to sort of know what this matchup looks like, if anyone ever wants to know what this matchup looks like ever. But the important thing that I think that is cool is to notice how fast these characters are, and how two incredibly fast characters that are fast in like really similar ways. They have quick hitboxes, they can like dash around the stage really fast, they have burst movement options, like Sonic has side B and Pikachu's up B. Anther uses that really well as sort of a neutral game burst movement tool, because he's like super old school brawl, so like that he kind of carries that tech over. But it's interesting to see how playing a fast character like what it looks like when you're playing against another fast character. And I think that an interesting thing to pay attention to is sort of how they're pushed to the limits of human reaction time. Like, a lot of what they do looks really sloppy, but it's because you're really fast, they're really fast, and to have the reaction time to react to something like that just like isn't possible in some of these situations. So you're going to see a lot of reads, you're going to see a lot of call-outs, safe like calls for like jump-ins and dash lengths and stuff. So let's just get started into that, and I'll kind of point it out as it goes on. It's a really interesting set to watch. So right, like let's just look at the literally the very first thing that happens. First off, there's Spider-Man, but Aion is going to let's frame advance. Right, he dash dances a little bit, blah blah blah, and then he catches Anther in his dash dance, and then just goes for like this sort of shooting nair. Right, he does like a short hop nair there, and then catches Anther. Right. If we go back and we look, and I'm like kind of front loading a lot of my analysis right here, but if you look right here, this is, if you freeze this frame, this is like a decent amount of space, right? You can see that like if you were like, let's say playing, I don't know, like who are the two slowest characters I can think of, like Zelda versus Luigi, right? If Luigi is coming in and he's like, first off, let me get this pen size smaller. That's like annoying for me. Okay, here we go. If this was like a Luigi versus a Zelda, right? Let's say that this is the Zelda, and the Zelda is kind of just walling out this area. The Luigi comes in, does like a forward air, right? Zelda can choose to, jump, fair, dash back, do like a forward smash, up smash, right? You have a lot of time to figure it out. So the space in this in a Luigi versus Zelda matchup is like not that big of a deal, right? You can be really close and you can be really comfortable. But the fact is that these two characters are incredibly fast, right? Sonic's here, he goes here, Pikachu's right here, she's trying to like do whatever, and like before you know it, like something like you just get hit by stuff. So like a lot of this match is going to be, oh my god, I'm driving a car at like 90 miles an hour and I'm driving head on to another car at 90 miles an hour. So we don't have enough time to play the slow game. We have to both sort of figure out what it is. Oh, also, this is a sick punish. Nice, keep it going. Yeah, but it's sort of like we have to guess where they're going to be, because these characters are like way too fast, So let's take a look at what that looks like. And I think that Anther does a better job at adapting to that pace of the game over Aion, which I think is what makes him eventually win this game. Okay. Let's go back. I do like this edge guarding sequence, and this might be a feature of Pikachu, like an advantage that Pikachu has over Sonic in the matchup. But let's look at this, right? So this is kind of the same idea. This forward air covers just like how that nair covered, right? So much space, so much space. If this was any two other characters, then you would have a lot of time to react to this stuff. But Aion doesn't, right? He doesn't have the reaction time to do it. And Pikachu, surprisingly, right, And I think it's thanks to his new PM back air and like the fact that his up air is like really does a lot of damage and stuff. He couples a lot with his weak attack cancel. He can wall out Sonic. So like, let's take a look after this forward air happens, which is all the way back here, I think. Yep. We're going to see a lot of like quick attack, back air, up airs, right? Just walling him out. And I think that once you have Sonic cornered and you can push him, right? You can prematurely put out hitboxes and then he'll run into them, right? Anther isn't attacking Aion right now. Anther is attacking where Aion is going to be and anticipating those angles, right? Seth gets really scared, throws out a hitbox and dies. But that was all really good edge guarding by Anther, and that's really understanding what it means to play this matchup, right? They're out really far away, and like Anther's jumping and he's doing a really defensive wall right there. You see how he's not moving as much as Aion is. And he's the one that's saying, okay, I'm gonna play defense right now. Right? If you look at Aion, he's running, he's going back and forth. Just like notice the movement, right? Like notice the movement of these characters. Like Pikachu is just moving like kind of up and down around kind of like here, and then Aion is moving kind of side to side, like back and forth here. So if I'm gonna play the video right now, right? They're following these trajectories, right? Like you can see that the way that Anther is playing was like a lot more defensive, a lot safer than the way that Aion was. And I do think that you see, like, the more vertical movement you see, the slower they're playing, the more they're trying to react and like maybe jump over stuff. Whereas the more horizontal you're playing, the more you're kind of like looking for that moment to go in, right? So like notice the movement, notice the sort of slices and angles of attack that these players like to play, right? Anther again, reactive, you see? And I want to talk about go more into the exchange and the conversion between time and space in different matchups. Time and space, like special relativity, but like time and space, like let's look at like the situation earlier when these characters are this far apart. Oh, whoa, that's weird. I want this one. Okay, when these characters are this far apart, you can't react, right? If there were any other characters, you could, but right here it's really hard. It takes like they can just close that gap so fast. So what's the solution to that? One is to like just have really good reaction times, right? Like be like a god at Smash, but like what if you're not? What if you're having an off day? What do? How do you slow the game down, right? In order to be able to react to it. What you do is you increase the space, right? You increase the space to this big. And even though it looks like it's huge, it's like a huge space, right? It's actually the equivalent of a much smaller space. A much smaller space, maybe this space in another matchup. But this is like a very critical distance. You see that Anther pushes himself back so that he can pivot grab Aion right here, right? So the way that you exchange space for time in this game, where it's like the farther away you are, the more time you have, and the closer you are, the less time you have, right? So like if you want to be really aggressive in their space, you're gonna have to be able to do it in a shorter amount of time, right? Here we go. And like a lot of this is just calling out where they're gonna be, right? Anther slows it down. You see how he retreats. Like I'm not sure if this is like the matchup knowledge, but you know that like if you're at this range, like in this matchup, that's a dangerous range because Sonic can do like an invincible side B from ledge, right? He can just instantly go here and it's center stage and it's fully invincible if he does it right. So then Anther's like, oh shoot, that's an option. I'm jumping away, right? And the fact that Anther is making Aion, like he's forcing Aion to play really far away and like commit to these options is like, I don't know, let's see, this is a good combo. But yeah, like, and you can see that Aion just does the same thing back to him right here, right? This is like, you can see like these are like dash dance baits, but these are like really far away. Can you imagine if this was like Mario versus Pit or something, where it's like they're this far away and then Mario does like a short hop nair, right, from that far away, and then like, you know, he's gonna get stuffed. But it's like, it's okay in this matchup, right? It's okay to play farther away because you're both so fast. Not only are you fast, but they're fast too. So you have to simultaneously like sort of whiff punish them, but you have to do it before they throw out their hitbox, because you know what I mean. It's a very awkward way to play. You can see right here, that's what it looks like when you miss, right? Anther throws out this down tilt, anticipating that side B, but is a little too far off, right? But the important thing to notice is that they're making these calls, right? And I think that that's an important thing to distinguish low level play from high level play, is that the high level players are willing to take the risks. If you never take risks, if you never like go for that down tilt or like try to stuff a fast character out of their approach, then they're just gonna walk all over you. You know, you have to make them respect your hitboxes in order to sort of, okay, like you can't just run in and run over me for free. If you do, if you're just slightly wrong in your timing, then I'm gonna hit you and I'm gonna take tons of damage on you, right? And all these things are reads. You can't just react your way to victory sometimes. Sometimes the character that you're playing against is just too fast. So like, you know, these things won't work sometimes, but like when they do, like they're gonna hurt your opponent first off, and then the fact that you go for them, right? Let's see what happens. Yeah, the fact that you go for things like this, right? This neutral air is a call. That neutral air is like not like, oh, a guaranteed follow up off of a rollback. No way, dude. There's no time. So what Anther does with this is he's like, okay, let's make a call. Let's make a call. I'm a good player and I'm willing to put my chips on the table. You know what I mean? You gotta gamble if you want to win. So what is the gamble here? Let's this is just like a text situation basically, right? He finishes his rollback. And Anther's like, okay, let's nair. What does this nair cover? This nair covers a dash in, which is potential to happen, right? If Aion stands up and shields, he can potentially cross up with it, and then the dash back is what he loses to, right? So there are situations here where it's not completely safe, but there are situations where you win big, and then there are situations where you lose. But the odds are stacked in his favor right here, right? So Anther decides, let's make the call. Let's call that he is going to dash forward or stand still, right? Seth actually does neither of those things. He dashes back, but because of, like I said, reaction time before, he dashes forward, gets hit by this thing, right? It's a jump in. So he gets stuffed by that, gets hit off. And these are like the little things. These are the little things that are going to make the difference. And it's a little different, and it's a little more intelligent than just blindly throwing at hitboxes. I don't want people to get the wrong idea and think that these players are just blindly throwing at hitboxes. Let's look at Anther's forward air from here, right? He's going to jump up here, waveland, and he does a forward air falling down, right? That forward air isn't random. That forward air is saying, okay, like if you dash in, then you're getting hit by this. You're getting sent up. If you dash out, then I take center and I can push you further, right? So the only real like solution in quotes is to be at this very specific range where you can whiff punish this forward air when he lands, right? Then like Aion will go and get a grab. So there are a lot of situations that are wrapped up into this one move, right? And this isn't like a super deliberate thing. A lot of this is happening unconsciously. Like you see right here, he goes here, and then Anther does this is just movement to center stage. He's like, I just want to go to center stage. Here, cover this, and then I zigzag into center stage, right? Here, boom, there. I get a lucky hit, right? And like sometimes it's lucky, but at the same time, it's like sometimes people don't go for the lucky stuff. If you're just the kind of person who sits out and just dash dances and waits for a whiff, you're going to lose to both of these players. These players have to make these calls. You know what I mean? And that's what's keeping them even in this game. I've been talking a lot about Anther just because I feel like Pikachu's movement is a lot easier to understand than Sonic's. But Seth is doing the same thing, Seth being Aion, right? So whenever you see a dash attacks are the epitome of high-risk, high-reward moves. If you hit a dash attack, like dash attacks can hit things that other moves can't, right? And when you miss one, you look like a big idiot. But like, let's look at what Aion does with this dash attack, right? Dash attack. Okay, dash dance is outside of the range of this down tilt. When's it coming? When's it coming? Here. Yikes. Let me see, dash dance here. Right. Let me just go back again so I can pause at the right time. Down tilt. Okay. So a dash attack, and this is super basic Smash again. I love talking about super basic stuff. But it's pretty much, you're this close, and we're going to exploit that space-time conversion thing again, where it's like when you are this close, you can think of space as the exact same thing as time. They have this much time to react to what you're going to do, right? So when you throw a dash attack and you have that extra little bit of burst movement attached, this space, right, where it's like, let's say I go for a short hop fair or a short hop nair, it gets cut, right? Like this takes like this long. But if you do a dash attack, it's like boom, it's like really fast. So you catch them sleeping, right? And whenever you throw out a dash attack, and whenever you see a top player throw out a dash attack, pay attention. They're going for a call. They're saying, I don't think you're dash dancing as honestly as you think you are. So I'm going to just check it. I'm going to check it. Like if I hit you, that means that your dash attack is lazy. If I miss, that means that your dash, or if I hit, that means your dash dance is lazy. There are a lot of players that have lazy dash dances and they don't react to what's happening in front of them. This is testing their reaction time. And Anther fails the test. He gets knocked down and, you know, like get up attacks or whatever. But like that was like the idea of that dash attack. Ooh, Anther dropped something. But you're gonna see the sickest Pikachu thing you've ever in your whole damn life right now. Ooh, and then oh my god, Anther is so cool. I'm sorry, Seth. But 2 tail spikes and then the reverse. Oh my god, to even up a game. Oh, so cool. Okay, so let's see how this last stock ends. You see right now that Anther is sort of, he's alternating. Anther is kind of alternating between Tiny Mouse Marth and then just the Cannonball, right? So like, what do I mean by those things? I just made up a bunch of words. It's like pretty much there are 2 modes. Right here, this down tilt, this down tilt is the check. You know what I mean? It's the defensive check. Are you going to run in? Right? And this is the rhythm that Anther has chosen to settle into. If you have a dishonest dash in, I'm going to catch you here, and then I'm going to knock you down into a tech chase situation, right? And then the next thing that he does is he does, oh my god, what happened? The screen's all gray. Okay. The down tilt, nair, right? So like you see like, it's just like, oh like down tilt, nair. That's sort of the 1-2 punch, down tilt, nair. Down tilt, where it's like, and then that one's an up smash. But like how do these 2 moves work together? And why does he choose to kind of use that combo, right? Let's talk about, let's kind of combine the 2 things that we've been talking about this game. Let's go back to this down tilt. What happens if they respect you, right? So like you're like, okay, if they disrespect me, they jump in, they get hit, right? They jump in, they get hit, boom, I win, right? But let's say that they don't. Let's say that they stay put. They stay here. I whiff a down tilt. It's like then they go in, right? Like Pikachu's down tilt is pretty safe. It's pretty fast, so it's hard to whiff punish it. So that's what Anther's doing here. He's saying, okay, like I'm covering 2 things. I'm going to cover him going in now, right, with this down tilt. I'm covering him going in later with this nair, right? So if I go for this, I lose, and if I go for this afterwards, I also lose. So the answer to beating both of these is to stand here, dash dance in this kind of area, and then you dash grab, or like you like shield grab this nair that comes afterwards. So that requires Aion to be waiting a lot, right? So that's like the patience of that the patience of waiting for this whole sequence to end is what's going to win Aion that interaction. But Anther's like, you know what? Let's try it. Like I lose to one thing, but I win against 2 things, right? So he wins, right? Goes in, fair hits, down tilt nair, right? The down tilt nair hits. Like whenever the down tilt whiffs, the nair comes afterwards. And Aion is not able to respond to this combo. It's not like a combo in the sense that it's a true combo, but it's a combo in the sense that it's a sequence of neutral game interactions that Anther is repeating, right? And then right here, Anther mixes it up, which is always good. You see the spacing right here, where he's like, wait a second, this Nair might not be the best thing. Let's back off. I have that option. Oh, I have all this space to react, right? Like, Aion is all the way out. This down tilt whiffs, and in response to that down tilt whiffing, look at Aion jumping, nairing, instant nair. So you see all this time. Anther has all this time because he gave himself the space, right? And then that's like kind of like, oh my god, this is good too. This is just super random, but reverse up air as shield, or the up air hitbox comes out behind Pikachu, so he's able to use that as an anti-cross up. Sonic is such a safe character on the ground because he can typically just cross people up and it doesn't matter. But Anther was able to catch him. He was able to catch him because, like Aion's kind of been, at the mercy of just Pikachu's speed. He has to kind of respect that as well. That's a trade. Nice up air for the punish. Again, just walling with down tilts. Like Anther is actually playing very much like a Marth would, which is weird because he's like Pikachu. You'd think about him going all crazy, but the fact that you're going against a Sonic means that you have the ability to kind of, like Sonic's gonna go in sometimes. Ooh, there you go, and that's the game. So and what actually took it was that same combo we were talking about earlier. Down tilt, right? Just in case he comes in. Oh, he didn't come in, but he's going to want to punish the down tilt. So let's jump and nair, right? And that's what wins him the game. So I think that that's a sort of one way to look at two quick characters going at it at a high level. You have to sort of, the faster a character you play, you have to either be really good at reacting and be really solid and focused about that, or you acknowledge the fact that you can't do that, right? I can't do that. I personally have really bad reaction times, and if I play a fast character, that's a lot of what I'm doing is I'm covering things. If I'm a fast character playing against another fast character, you want to cover options whether they come in, and you want to realize that they're trying to do the same thing. So it becomes a huge mix-up game, and I think that the mix-up game is very important and it's indicative of high-level play. Is when you're both going for reads, when you look at these hits and you're seeing that moves whiff, but you know exactly why they whiff. Just because a move whiffs doesn't mean it's a bad move. If it whiffs and you didn't know why you threw out the move in the first place, then it's bad. But if a player is going for something, it's always respectable in some sense. So that's the end of that, and we'll see you in the next one.